Alright, here we are. We're here to create the last of the 3 buttons that for our NES controller. And so we're going to bring in a cube like normal, and we're going to move it over to where the button lies so we can use it as a reference image. Hit R, scale it out. Sure, we might as well just use that size. Decrease the depth a little bit. Okay, so in order to create this circle, we need a little bit more resolution than we had before. And I like to think of it as 8 points, okay? And so if we define the top, oh hey, what's up? Hello buddy, what you doing? There we go. I must have hit the wrong tool. There we go. Okay, so if we define the top, define that, give it a, actually, just ignore that. So 1 down the center, and 1 there. So that's 4 points so far to define this this circle. We can do better than that. We want 8. And so let me show you what I'll do there. We need to use basically, we need to be clever. Watch how we do this. Okay. So if I take these and I expand them, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8. That's what we needed. So let's pull that in. Hit R again. Oh, I didn't select all the vertex. Sorry about that. Just go to vertex mode instead. Just hold shift and select all these vertexes. Hit R and pull them out. Oh, only these. You're a dork. Not all of them. Only those 4. There we go. Pull them out. Go to object mode. Bring this thing back in to the size about the circle there. Check it out. Not too bad. And then take this edge here. Edge here. Edge here. And edge here. We can extrude it. Expand it out. Take the vertexes. And build the box. It's nice to have a reference. And then we can flatten them afterwards. But I think that's a really easy way to do this. It's just like that to get that on the inside. There are other ways to accomplish that, but that's really easy. And so I'm really attracted to things that are quite easy. Alright, there we go. I'm flattening these out by nudging that down, and I'm using marquee selection because I want to get both the edges behind and in the front of the polygon. There we go. Now let's go inspect what we got here. Oh boy, we have quite a mess there, don't we? It's fine. I'll show you what we do with that. Oh, I don't want that to flip over the other side, by the way. That's why I avoid that. And let's flatten this guy out. He is not flat. There we go. Alright, now he's flat. These faces are all really not flat for some reason. So if you ever run into this, just select them all. Select all the faces that are all crooked and whatnot. Hit the scalar button and nudge that scalar towards the center. Flatten those bad boys out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually delete this data here. I don't need it. Delete all this face data here. Then we're going to take this edge loop here. Boom, double click it and get rid of all the extras that it selects when it does that. Don't want any of those. We just want the exterior. Hit extrude. Pull it out. And we got ourselves our cube. We don't really need to make the back of that. There's no point. So just like we did the other button, we're going to select these faces that define the sphere. Can we make that a little cleaner? Yeah, we can. Flatten that out. That's better. Cool. And we're going to run this operation. And smoothing is really going to help us. Oh, we forgot to offset it first. Okay. Then inwards a little bit. That gives us our supporting edges. And then all the way back. One more back a little bit. There we go. And offset. and barely up, and then all the way up to our full extent, barely a little bit more, and then offset again. Cool. Very cool. Not sure why those are beveled over there, so I'll just ignore that right now. Kind of confused why that is doing that, but it looks really cool, so I'm not really mad at it. Okay, so we don't want much of this beveled. We're only, for the purposes of our exercise, probably going to bevel these right here. So just like the start and select button, the smoothing actually helps us to define this polygonal cylinder into what looks like a legit circle. Edit mesh. We're gonna bevel that bad boy. Those are too small of the bevels. They're just such small bevels that they don't really show up. So edit mesh, bevel. Oh, it should show up. Got a little bit of an error occurring right now. Maya's just erroring right now, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. The method will work just fine for you to create this button. So we're only concerned with the inside here. The outside is totally non-consequential. It's just Maya being a little buggy right now. In fact, I can just delete these faces. There we go. What a vertex is. Yeah, it's just acting really funny. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That's not really a big deal. And so what we want to do is we want to just be able to, at this moment, be able to create these 3 prototypes with the methods that we showed. Okay? Look at that. Bam. And so if we go and start placing these, kind of in somewhat where they would be, Control C, Control V, or Control D works. Sorry, Control D. Control D. We can start to get a good idea of how the edge flow of this controller would go. Now, we wouldn't create all these buttons necessarily separately, although it could be done. But I'm going to leave that challenge up to you on how you would go about using these methods to try to create a rectangle with all of these details on them. That's your challenge, to try to take these methods I've shown you to try to create the NES controller, and you can go as far out as you want. We could try to texture it with the same methods we used on Steve, but at the very minimum, to be able to do these buttons just like this is a really good step. It's a really good idea of how to create hard surface mechanics. But that's the lessons for today.